Alright, so Mrs. Land and I are getting ready to go on a little bit of a road trip for the holiday here. Doing some out-of-town visiting. So it's going to be a bit of a hike today, and hopefully we won't run into too much traffic and hopefully won't have any car issues. So we're getting ready to head out, and I guess we will try to check in periodically as we can along the way. We'll find out what we encounter. It should take us maybe about 7 hours to do today's part of our journey. So here goes our adventure. We'll check in with you when we get to first interesting thing we encounter. All right, we're inside Union Station, which is the big train station in Washington, D.C. It houses the Amtrak trains up to along the northeast corridor. It houses the Virginia Railway Express and the Maryland Regional Rail, as well as some other trains. I believe it's the second or third biggest in terms of traffic train station in the country. I'm here in the middle of rush hour during the pandemic, and it is completely empty. This is the main room of the train station. There's lots of retail restaurants here that are jam-packed and things like that. This is sort of it used to be the main train hall. The station itself is back in 1907. It was designed by Daniel Burnham. He's a really famous American architect. And it is pretty empty. I'm just going to do a quick walk this way. Again, this is the main train hall. And then scheduled trains today. I guess there are a few trains running. I don't think many of them will have too many people on them. But the train station, you kind of walk in, and then there's this big central area. There's, I guess, retail and restaurants in the basement. And this is sort of you check in. There's also part of the old train hall, kind of repurposed. There's a whole sort of shopping mall built into it, 2 levels, a lot of shops, most of which are closed. Normally, this time of day, they would be very crowded. And this is the actual boarding area for the trains. And even it is very, very empty. Somebody had a big queuing line set up here. Very few people here. Yeah, we're gonna go. So we're just running around the train station here. Head up to the parking garage. The back part of the station has a huge parking garage tacked onto it. It houses the Megabus, the Volt Bus, different rental car agencies, and then also just a giant parking garage. So ticket auction for Megabus, things like that. I see there are a few people going to buses, but really, not very many compared to what normally would be the case. So we're gonna keep going up. So we're gonna get a slight glimpse of the train yards back here or not. The actual trains kind of sit back here. Kind of see a few of them in there, like the freight rail cars. So we go to the top level of the train station, behind the actual train station itself. So we're heading up to the parking level. So I guess these are the pay stations. So a lot of cars back here, and I'm gonna end the video. Alright, so we're actually setting out on the highway right now that runs underneath the National Mall, which is actually the highway where the protesters took their walk a number of days ago. So we're doing a very similar route that they did, actually, taking this right up. And then we're going to take I-395 going south here. That's exactly what they did.
Use the right lane to take the I-395 south ramp and then keep left.
In fact, we're crossing under the area where we saw them a number of days ago. Just right over our heads. And then right around here is where they did their, they laid down on the road for 16 minutes. Jefferson Memorial is flying by us here on the right. Back there. Still in Virginia now.
In a quarter mile, continue straight to Sam George Washington Memorial Parkway.
There's the Lincoln Memorial over there, the Washington Monument. Of course, the Potomac River out in front of us here.
Continue straight to stay on George Washington Memorial Parkway. Continue on George Washington Memorial Parkway for 10 miles.
So that exit we cemetery. Goes on our left. We're about to cross over the bridge that would take us back to the Lincoln Memorial. On our right. There's the Kennedy Center over there. Skyline of Arlington, Virginia ahead of us. The bike trail that goes down here on the right that'll actually take you, if you want to go to the Franklin Roosevelt Island there in the middle of the Potomac River. Steeples of Georgetown ahead of us. Back across the river. There's the parking lot. There's the bridge if you wanted to go over to Roosevelt Island. Just driving now on the George Washington Memorial Parkway. This bridge. I'm not sure if we're going to get a little view of Georgetown here on the right. Just a little bit here. Yeah, it's Georgetown University right on the hillside there with the steeples. And now we are off and running here. Check back in a bit. Okay, so we're in Maryland now, driving outside the DC area, and we're just looking at this Black Lives Matter car, examining the way they did the letters here. They had some lower cases and some upper cases, and wondering why they were so inconsistent. It's like Black Live was all in regular case.
He also looks the same in upper and lower case.
Yeah, some of the letters look the same in upper and lower case, but the ES of lives and matter was all in uppercase. So, Black Lives Matter, I guess is the way you're emphasize the matter, I guess.
And the ES.
So, we're driving here up in Maryland, and we're now on like regular highways. For a while we were on parkways in the DC area. Traffic's a little bit less intense now, and scenery is not so spectacular quite yet, but we're hoping as we get further along it'll get more interesting. So we'll probably be checking back in. Alright, so we're back on the road. Kind of driving through kind of nondescript highway now. We just stopped and did McDonald's. We were hoping we could get breakfast at McDonald's. They recently switched to the all-day breakfast, and then I guess for the pandemic they went back from the all-day breakfast to ending breakfast at 10:30. So we got there at 10:40, and they had shut it down. So we were disappointed, but luckily they have other things on the menu, so we survived. And then had an adventure trying to get back onto the highway here. But we are now back on our way, heading west. So, not a lot to see here. It feels very suburban. It took us a long time to get out of the DC area, but we're rolling now. So, we'll, I guess, check in the next time we run into something interesting. So, we'll be back. Yeah, so we're back on driving now through kind of upstate Maryland. We're not too far from Cumberland, Maryland, but we transitioned from the kind of suburban hellscape downstate to some really beautiful hilly areas. Kind of driving into this giant green hillside here. There's some power lines or something going up the hill over there. So we're going to hit through this notch they've cut through the hillside up ahead. But it's starting to turn into beautiful territory. Imagine the fall, the foliage. This is a really pretty area. Summer, just very green, and probably it's a part of Maryland where we're probably going to start losing cell service for a while. But pretty. Stay on here while we go through this pretty incredibly dynamited hillside here. Cut us through these mountainsides here. Starting to get into just a little bit of the Appalachian Mountains. And we're probably going to get deeper into the thick of them soon. So, more of the view. So we'll check in a little bit. So I'm just doing a quick snippet here as we go through the Cumberland, Maryland area, which still has some of these beautiful hills. We just crossed a bend and looked down on a resort where I stayed for something like last year. I'm on a big lake up here in this part of Maryland that really doesn't have a whole lot going on for it other than the scenery. Very, I think, sort of an economically depressed area up here. I recall it didn't have very good cell service when I was there. And the resort was like a joint casino and outdoorsy resort, which I think is kind of the two main economic drivers up here. The town of Cumberland, Maryland is not particularly thriving, and we're starting to get very close to kind of the core of the Appalachian Mountains. So we've gone quite a ways upstate, and we'll continue to check in. A little view as we come into the heart of Cumberland, Maryland, which is a kind of an interesting older city/large town. Clearly, its best days are behind it. It's probably a pretty big economic center of this region back when there was a lot of coal and other things going on in upstate Maryland, here in West Virginia. And today it feels like a bit of a timepiece. Not a small place, though. It's a pretty big and robust downtown, and just a little bit kind of behind the times. I don't know if anything will ever help it really catch up. See, there's a lot of kind of rundown houses. But very beautiful setting. And they have some interesting little restaurants and shops. A lot of sort of older shops and movie theaters. They're downtown. Got a canal that runs through there, I think. And the Amtrak does stop there from time to time. So kind of a capital of sorts for this small portion of the state. But it's not a metropolis. So we keep driving onward. Well, welcome to West Virginia. wild and wonderful. We've just crossed over the state line into the state of West Virginia. We're here at this little rest stop. Taking just a little bit of a break. There's a Blue Star Memorial here, a tribute to the armed forces that have defended the United States of America. Just a few cars here, some trucks, and this rest stop that looks like a ski lodge or something. And this little construction area where that's picked up some sidewalk. And some of the surrounding scenery. The hills and a bunch of picnic tables that nobody seems to be using. Obviously on the inside, things like the drinking fountains and things like that are closed off right now. Kind of on our way to Morgantown, West Virginia. Not our final destination, just the next city we'll be passing. And not sure what else here in West Virginia. Not a whole lot of excitement here, but a new state, new excitement, a new memorial, a little different from the DC memorials. So we will catch up with everybody as we continue on. University of the state of West Virginia has a decent football and basketball program. I've known a couple of people who went there. We'll see if we see any more of Morgantown. But at the moment, pretty unremarkable surroundings. Some strip retail here, some Planet Fitness. There's things like that. And still some of these hills, very green. So we're going to swing around Morgantown, and if we see anything of note, we will check back in. Alright, so we still have a bunch of trees here. Fall again is probably quite beautiful, but right now it's just a lot of trees. So we've got some kind of dome up here on the hillside. Not sure what that is. I mean, it's either from some kind of mining or some kind of structure. I don't know. Can't really tell. This is not that informative, but as we get closer, we'll try to figure out what this thing is. I think we're approaching at least whatever the core of Morgantown amounts to. I've never previously been to Morgantown, so this is an adventure. It's very exciting. There's a Bob Evans restaurant over there. One of America's finest dining institutions.
It's very exciting. Looks like there's some kind of minor league ballpark. There's
houses and maybe a motel. So, West Virginia University is a mile and a half up the road here. So we'll see what that amounts to. We've got some restaurants upcoming. We've got a Buffalo Wild Wings, a Wendy's. Looks like that might be, I wonder if that's like a basketball arena or something for the university. That could be what that dome is. It's like these exits are the ones, if you're going to go to West Virginia University, the ones you'd take.
Yeah, here, West Virginia University.
Yeah, here's the university. Oh, here's 1 mile. So we'll hang on here for another mile. So it's evened out a little bit here, but we've been passing through a lot of, oh, Red Lobster. It's exciting. We've been passing a lot of, obviously, very wooded hillsides here in the Appalachian Mountains, which are nice looking in the summer. I guess we have seen them in the fall, and they're really beautiful foliage in the fall. So, what else we got here? Cece's Pizza, Burger King. We got everything here in Morgantown. It's very exciting.
The exit.
This is the exit for West Virginia University. So there's some kind of hotel there. That's about as much as we can see of the university, I think. So I'm not sure we caught it, but we had some horses up on the hillside. We're kind of slowly graduating. Well, we're still in them. We're still in the Appalachian Mountains. We're slowly graduating out of the Appalachian Mountains. They're getting a little bit more flat and rolly. Still some hills, but occasionally you get a farm that'll pop up every now and then. And as we move further west, we'll get increasingly more farms. We're in Pennsylvania now. We passed. We entered from West Virginia back into Pennsylvania,
Head southwest on I-70 West.
and we just passed Washington, Pennsylvania a little bit ago, and are heading in the direction of Wheeling, West Virginia. So we're going to briefly cross back into West Virginia here in a few minutes. These states come together in kind of a weird formation. So we're not that far outside of Pittsburgh here in southwest Pennsylvania, but not a whole lot to see at this point. Occasionally we'll probably see a cow or two, or a horse.
No ducks.
No ducks. We'll see maybe some construction. Hopefully not. A few cars out on the road. Not super crowded, but more cars than I would have expected in the circumstances. And other than that, still just rolling along here with a lot of trees. We'll check back in when we get to Wheeling. This is very exciting. We're stuck in stop and go traffic here. I think the right lane is going to be closed momentarily. So we're sandwiched between a couple of trucks here. We've got an overpass over top of us. We're at exit 1. one. One from what? I'm not sure. So we made a pit stop here, still in Pennsylvania. No, we're not in Pennsylvania. We just crossed over into West Virginia. And we're to Sheetz, which I've never been to, but it's a Wawa equivalent that I guess serves some different parts of the country. They've got everything. They got a whole food mart. They've got a lot of gas station stuff. They got a car wash. We've got outdoor seating areas here. Lots of people dressed very casually, not wearing masks. So you can tell we're very much in rural America now. I guess you can even do curbside pickup of things. Pretty healthy options on the inside, actually. You get a lot of different things. And on the back side of the sheets, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. It's like a giant Cabela's over here. There's a hardware store, kind of. Actually got a little motel up there, or a hotel there up on the hillside. This is McDonald's. So very exciting times here now that we're back in West Virginia. Chick-fil-A over there. So lots of exciting stuff. So we're crossing the bridge through Wheeling, West Virginia, which is basically a border community between states of West Virginia and Ohio.
GPS signal lost.
And I don't know, looks like a kind of okay little community, very similar to Cumberland, Maryland, and some of these others we've been through. I don't think there's a whole lot of economic activity there, and I think it's been somewhat depressed for a while, but looks nice enough. I never stopped there. And now we're cutting through some of these increasingly smaller rolling hills as we work our way into the state of Ohio. So we just did a little leg through West Virginia after having been in Pennsylvania, after having been in West Virginia, after having been in Maryland, after having been in Virginia, after having been in DC. So a lot of states today in not that great of a amount of time. So let's see, the next 45 miles to the next big city, and it's a place I've never heard of. So it's going to be a while until we have anything particularly exciting. So we'll see what we stumble into next. But this is kind of the view for now. More trees. Very green. As you can see, things have gotten really exciting here as we continue to drive westward. So instead we have trees, just being trees. And we got fireworks next exit. Are we stopping there to get fireworks?
If you want.
I don't think we'll be getting fireworks. I didn't think you could get fireworks in Ohio. We're in Ohio, by the way. I thought they always made you go to Indiana to get fireworks. I don't know. Same thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never gotten fireworks. Maybe certain kinds are available in each state. Who knows? But this is kind of the scenery now. It's
This is basically what it looks like through Ohio. Very flat.
this is a lot of Ohio. Certain parts of Ohio. This is eastern Ohio. Could be more exciting. Power lines cut through the trees over here. It's exciting. Oh, we got something coming up here. BP gas station.
Quaker City.
Quaker City. What that
Or
is.
the Quaker City.
Here's Quaker City.
Head west on I-70 West.
Quaker City.
Quaker City. All the ducks.
All right. Let's see what's coming up here. Oh, that's Quaker City again.
Fireworks next exit at Quaker City.
Oh, there's some barns and houses and things like that. Any animals there? Oh, hard to tell. A bulldozer. There's, gas station. Oh, there's the fireworks place. This is very exciting. It's a fireworks truck too. So we're just driving America here, and is that a church? Maybe. Barns. Mounds of gravel. So we're going right next to the skyline of Columbus, Ohio, which is the capital city of Ohio. And sound some urban highways. We're going to be stopping soon.
2 miles. Take exit 1B for Grandview Avenue.
This is our destination for the time being. So we made it through, what, how many states? DC, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia,
West Virginia.
Pennsylvania, West Virginia,
Ohio.
and then Ohio. And now we're deep in the heart of Ohio.
Get you a nice shot onto the university.
In a quarter mile, merge onto Ohio through 15 North.
So very flat here. Not the most picturesque environs right now.
Through 15 North for 3/4 of a mile.
Oh, we might not actually get a good view because you have to exit. Really see the medical center.
In a quarter mile, take exit 3 for Medical Center Drive toward King Avenue.
Magnificent.
There's some of the buildings of the Ohio State University. It's the flagship university of the state of Ohio. Sort of like West Virginia was for West Virginia. Although here at least we get to see some things. Highway. So we'll be coming back with more. Alright, so we've arrived at our destination for the moment here in Ohio. Trying to see what happens next for us here. But for the moment, we are now here. So, a long day. We went through, let's see, how many states? We went through DC, we went through Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and back through West Virginia, just a little bit. And then Ohio. And that's where we are now. So we've got to sort of figure out what we're going to do next few days here, and what we're going to do this evening. And I guess we'll try to figure out how to best keep everybody engaged here for that period. But it was an interesting journey today. Not too much traffic, not a whole lot of people on the roads, but more than I guess I would have expected given the pandemic. And we got to see a lot of, well, some pretty parts of West Virginia, but then some other parts of the trip that kind of weren't so eventful. But we drove through some places we haven't been before, so we will sort of take stock of what we've learned and where we're heading next, and try to check in when we get to the next exciting component of our few days here, and then beyond back in DC.